This video will be an incredible reminder of why we stack silver and what gives it so much freaking potential, since it's so easy to focus on one benefit or the other, or focusing on one price point, or even potential scenario that could push it to said price point. This combo will be covering every single angle of why silver has so much value. This is the type of video you show someone when you're trying to rest your case on why you buy silver, since we will be highlighting the several different reasons on why it's so valuable and why nothing else makes anywhere near as much sense. First though, I'm going to do something I normally don't, might be frowned upon, but I would greatly appreciate it. I'm going to throw my PayPal donation link in the description if you'd like to support this channel and help me out, since I do spend the greater portion of my day sitting in my office making these videos for each and every single one of you. I don't make anywhere near as much as some people assume I do, but this is what I love to do. I don't do it for the money, never have and never will. I do it because I am passionate about precious metals, about this topic, and I love educating / helping others preserve their wealth, or at least planting the seed so they know there's at least an alternative approach once finding out your money is slowly burning away in your savings account. With that said, I wanted to share this excellent article written from StoneXBullion.com that was only posted 4 days ago, titled "What Drives Silver Prices?" Now, this article shows 11 different things that affects the price of silver, and every single one is bullish. And this is what I was talking about when I mentioned showing this video to someone who's maybe skeptical or a naysayer, because I could easily name 20 reasons on why silver is extremely bullish for the foreseeable future, and I could name 20 reasons on why stocks are extremely bearish. Nothing makes as much sense as silver, and this article breaks that down and explains it perfectly. So with that said, let's jump straight into it. And by the way, this article was written June 25th, 2024, 4 days ago. So, like gold, silver is an attractive investment that offers intrinsic value and a hedge against inflation. Unlike gold, however, its price isn't just driven by its status as a precious metal, but also by various external factors. Whether you're a seasoned investor or new to the world of precious metals, understanding what drives silver prices can help make you more informed investment decisions. In this article, we will explore most important factors influencing silver prices, including supply and demand, economic conditions, technological advancements, and government policies. It is so crazy because when you're investing into something, you're investing into it looking forward. You're not looking at the value now, you're looking forwards because you're investing into it. You're just like you're investing into a person or into maybe a project or something. You're looking forwards. And if you look forwards on where the economy is going, looking at all silver's uses and everything, silver is by far the most explosive, has the most potential. And that is just a fact, looking at the stats. So why you should invest into silver? Before we get into what influences silver's price, let's look at reasons that make silver a valuable investment. Understanding the benefits of investing in silver can provide some background into the factors that can drive its price up or down. Reasons to invest in silver include historical store value. Silver is a tangible asset with intrinsic value that's been cherished for centuries. Its enduring value over time makes silver a prized asset that's unlikely to lose its attractiveness anytime soon. Now, actually, silver's been valuable for over 5,000 years, since the beginning of man, and that is because silver is the most highly conductive metal for thermal conductivity, electricity, and light sensitivity. It can purify water. Back in ancient biblical times, they thought silver was this magical metal because it can purify water. It has antimicrobial properties. You put silver in milk, keeps the milk fresh longer. It responds to other elements on the periodic table like no other element. It truly is this magical metal, and that's why they thought it was just as valuable as gold back in the day. No counterparty risk. Buying physical silver offers a way to invest without the counterparty risk found in other investments, such as shares, stocks, and bonds. This provides investors more control and assurance over their assets. Inflation hedge. Like gold, silver has historically proven to be a hedge against inflation. When inflation devalues paper currency and other assets, silver tends to retain its purchasing power. Historic records show that silver prices will even increase during periods of high inflation. Now let's stop right there. Since we know that when the dollar loses strength, silver benefits, then what does that tell us when the dollar does inevitably collapse? Since every fiat-based system lasts around a century, the dollar will eventually collapse. That is a for sure. It's designed to fail. So what is going to happen to silver when the dollar does collapse? It's going to rise. So right there is a guarantee that no matter what, you cannot say that silver won't come out on top, because as soon as the dollar does fall, silver will. The only way you think silver won't do anything is if you genuinely believe the dollar is going to hold its value for the foreseeable future and will continue to hold its strength. We know that is not true. That will not happen. It's not possible. We're $34 trillion in debt. The dollar's lost 98% of its purchasing power, and it will fall sooner than later, especially now that other countries are opting out of the US dollar, like Russia and many, many more to come. So with that said, we know for sure that at least that situation itself will make silver push higher. Now, scarcity. Silver has high demand and finite supply that makes it a scarce metal. While it's not as rare as other precious metals, the scarcity makes silver an attractive investment. And it actually is kind of, because there's only so much silver in the Earth's crust. Silver is a byproduct found by accident, plus most silver is thrown away. Potential for larger gains. The silver market is more volatile than gold. This means it can lose more value than gold in a bear market or in bear markets, but there's the potential for much larger gains in bullish markets. Yes, higher highs and lower lows. That's why it's a little more risky. Even though calling a safe haven asset risky to any degree is extremely contradicting, but yes, silver does, it's like a more exaggerated version of gold. I call it gold on steroids, and I say that because steroids does have negative side effects as well. So currently undervalued. Gold and silver have an interesting relationship documented in the gold to silver ratio. When the gold to silver ratio is high, it indicates that silver is undervalued and gold is overvalued. When the ratio is low, it means the opposite. At the time of writing, the gold to silver ratio indicates that silver is currently undervalued, making this an ideal time to purchase the metal. And yes, it's extremely undervalued compared to gold and compared to the dollar. It's affordable. Silver offers an affordable entry point into the world of precious metal investing, providing largely the same benefits as investing in gold, but at a much lower price point. Industrial uses. Silver's demand largely comes from industrial uses, and these demands are increasing. It currently used to manufacture everything from mobile phones, medical equipment, to solar panels and TVs. And those are just a few reasons. Now, you know what's crazy? They listed all these reasons why to invest into silver, and then when you look at everything that affects the price of silver, a lot of these, almost all of them, are exactly in what affects the price. So looking at the foreseeable future, if you're looking at the way the war is headed, the supply and demand, I mean the amount of silver we're losing every year, hundreds of billions of ounces in the red every year, or millions of ounces in the red, 500 million ounces in the last 3 years alone. I mean, it's just so obvious, but people won't realize that until it already took off. For some reason, people need to see the price go higher before they believe it. Like Andy Schectman says, price is the greatest tool of misdirection, right? People see silver is only, which is crazy saying only, because it was just like, what, $11 in March of 2020. The average price around $15, but right now it's like $29, $30 or whatever. $30, they'll say, oh, silver's not doing anything. But that doesn't matter. That's actually good, because you're finding out about it before it's done anything yet. And we know looking forward it will. It just doesn't make sense on why people can't see that, especially given an article like this. Before making any investment, it's wise to understand the factors that can influence that investment's price movements. Let's take a look at the various factors that can drive silver prices up or down. Supply and demand. Supply and demand is one of the fundamental drivers of silver's price. While silver demand is constant, its supply is relatively limited. 2023 World Silver Survey by Silver Institute reveals that demand for silver reached record highs of 1.24 billion ounces, while supply remained flat. This was one of the largest silver deficits ever recorded. And yes, we've actually had record-breaking supply deficits the last 3 years alone, and they're expecting it to be a fourth year. So silver's price will increase when demand is high and supply is relatively low. The supply and demand can be both perceived or actual. For example, if silver mining was temporarily interrupted due to a workers' strike, prices may increase over the short term. Likewise, if a major solar panel manufacturer announced they would start using silver, the precious metals price would inevitably rise. And since we know there's a direct correlation between silver demand and silver's price, and we know silver demand is going to be skyrocketing in the next 5 to 10 years, what does that tell us about the price? The price will be too. It is not rocket science to see this stuff. I don't understand how someone can try to actually think they have a chance to debate or be a naysayer against these extremely obvious claims. So silver scrap. Recycled silver, known as silver scrap, is an important source of supply that can affect the precious metals price. A popular example of silver scrap is within photography industry, where silver was widely used for its light-sensitive qualities. As non-silver photography grew more popular, silver demand decreased. However, large stockpiles of photovoltaic film could be recycled for its silver content. There's also a huge amount of old silver coins and jewelry that could be melted down and added to the market supply of silver. Essentially, the amount of silver scrap available can influence silver prices as it adds to the market supply of silver. I don't think it would even put a dent in the amount, though. If we're talking about 1.4 billion ounces this year for industrial demand, but the U.S. mints around 13 million ounces per year. I mean, 13 million coins a year on a good year, or let's say the biggest silver mine in America, which was Hecla Mining, I think. Phyllis Baker, the CEO, said he mined around 16 million ounces, but we're talking about an annual demand of 1.4 billion, which is actually much higher. The numbers are much higher than that, since military uses a lot of silver as well, but those numbers aren't even incorporated in the annual numbers, along with aerospace. So, I mean, no, even recycling won't put a dent in the amount of silver we need. So, technological advances in technology can both increase and decrease silver demand, affecting its price. For example, innovations in electronics and renewable energy, like photovoltaic cells using solar panels, have increased industrial demand for silver in recent years. On the other hand, the above example for photography industry demonstrates how technological advancements have also the potential to decrease, but we know that's not going to happen. Actually, the new solar panels that use N-type solar cells require more silver. The BEVs and EVs, some to make them more efficient, are using more silver, along with AI chips now needing more silver, 5G towers needing more silver. So as we advance in this new digital technological era, we're going to need more and more silver, but there's less and less of it, and production isn't increasing along with the demand to equate the type of deficit that we are accumulating. So economic trends. So economic conditions can also affect silver's price. During periods of economic stability, more people spend money on silver jewelry and other items. This drives the price upwards. When the economy is stagnant or unstable, people are less likely to make purchases, and silver's price can drop. That said, there can be often demand for precious metals during periods of economic instability. Investors may flock to buying silver as a way to protect their funds. This can sometimes increase demand and prices. And yeah, I mean, you're going to see that Wall Street Silver, the Hunt brothers, but also just the natural obligation of people not trusting the government heading into the second or the latter half of the year. 5 national debt and global economic trends. This is another perfect example. We have the BRICS meeting in October, the election, when the economy is strong. Let's push it this way. This means silver can maintain value and even increase during periods of instability when fiat currency and other assets decline. We know that this is going to happen. During economic crisis, there's even more demand on silver and other precious metals. This can skyrocket silver prices. We know we are headed into that exact direction. So what does that say? Inflation, as with gold, silver is considered to be an excellent hedge against inflation. Right? And we know that's going to happen during periods of high inflation. Purchasing power of paper currency decreases, and tangible assets like silver become more valuable. So we know that inflation is rising. So what does that say? Value of the U.S. dollar. Dollar meaning dollar strengthens, silver drops. Dollar drops, silver strengthens. So what do we know since the dollar is collapsing? Global conditions. We know geopolitical events, natural disasters, other global conditions can affect the price. We know that geopolitical events, especially right now, is very, very dangerous, meaning what? It's going to be beneficial to silver. Price of gold. The gold to silver ratio is a hotly debated topic. However, it's undeniable that there is a historic relationship between these two precious metals. If you look at historical charts, you'll observe silver tends to increase and decrease as gold surges or falls. We know that gold actually just broke past record highs past the past year and a half, and now we haven't seen silver follow suit yet, but it always does. It just lags a little bit. Government policies, silver demand and supply can be affected by various government policies. For example, central banks around the world buying and selling silver bullion. We know that there are massive amounts of silver being bought from India and China. India actually bought as much silver this year in the first 4 months than the entirety of last year, and China is the biggest consumer of silver. I mean, we are seeing every country, bank, most rich, powerful investors and people all buying silver as well. Large private or institutional investments, large-scale investments by private or institutional investors can drive prices as well. So yeah, it's everything that just named that silver is affected by is all bullish and is all happening. So what does that say? It doesn't take a rocket scientist to see where we are headed. And actually right now, silver's price gains outpace gold and copper. So anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. I know this is a longer video, so I'm trying to wrap it up. I kind of skimmed through the last parts, but I still think I covered the important key points of it to still make sure you got through all 11 reasons. And there's actually a couple more as well, but we're not going to go into those. That is the meat and potatoes of it. But, at the end of the day, nothing makes as much sense as silver, and I hope you now see that. I'm going to wrap this video up here. Remember, I'll post my PayPal donation link in the description if you enjoyed this video. Remember, folks, you don't have to. Just watching these videos is enough, but, it does help. I put a lot of time into this channel. I've been making daily videos since 2016 trying to help people, and I hope that I've done that. That's the whole point of this channel, is to help others. So yeah, if you want to, tip or whatever, just like you would a live streaming channel or, whoever, I'd appreciate it. So anyways, yeah, I'm going to wrap this video up here, folks. Thanks for tuning in. I'll try to post another one today. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys tomorrow, or later today or tomorrow. Peace.